I have found the perfect evil lair away from that fool He-Man, and I will now begin to exact my What is that doing here? Howdy folks, my name is Richie aka Otter, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 reasons why you should be excited about the Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns expansion. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a pumpkin latte, and let's begin the countdown.
Number 10.
The beloved Guild Hall feature from the original Guild Wars is finally making its appearance in the Heart of Thorns expansion, but holy shiitake mushrooms have they gone above and beyond to trick out this feature. First of all, let's be clear, the name Guild Hall is kind of a misnomer. These things are massive, sprawling zones with tons of nooks and secret areas to explore. In fact, they should be called guild maps. Each one is so big they have several waypoints in them, so it should be able to accommodate most large guilds. And I just realized I used the word nooks and didn't follow it up with and crannies. That just feels wrong. Since these guild halls are located in the Mordrum-controlled regions of the Maguma jungle, guild members will have to band together on an expedition and complete a series of events in order to wrest control of their new home. There are two different guild halls launching with Heart of Thorns. The first is a sprawling hidden canyon called the Lost Precipice, which is ideal for guilds who want to use their gliders to maneuver around. The second is the Gilded Hollow, a monolithic cavern with tons of hidden areas which is perfect for playing Hide the Asura. Players will be able to upgrade their town halls with different buildings that provide functionality. There's a new crafting discipline called Scribe, which also allows players to construct various decorations and other guild-centric perks. Guild members can decorate their halls as they see fit and can proudly display trophies they earn from their latest conquests. There's even an arena players can use to invite other guilds to square off against. And this is just scratching the surface about what this feature has in store, but it's already easy to see why this community can't wait to get their grubby little paws on it. But what? How?
Number 9.
It's been almost a year since Mordremoth decimated the Pact and left our heroes in dire straits. The Living World Season 2 came to a close in January of 2015, and since then the storyline of Guild Wars 2 has been frozen in time, leaving players with so many unsolved mysteries and questions. When Heart of Thorns releases, we'll get to explore several new massive zones in the Maguma jungle, chock full of new information to satisfy even the most voracious lorehounds. We'll also get to play through new story instances, which will hopefully answer questions like, what did Glint hide in the jungle? Or, why does Kaith want that egg so bad? And, who did Redlock learn all those sweet Revenant moves from? And how the hell are we supposed to kill this thing? I guess we'll have to wait for Heart of Thorns to find out.
Number 8.
Veteran MMO players may be shocked to hear that the Guild Wars 2 expansion is not raising the level cap or increasing the power level on gear. I remember when the first World of Warcraft expansion landed many years ago, I was shocked that all of my hard-earned raid gear was immediately replaced by loot dropped by random boars 5 minutes into playing the new content. Over time, this has become the norm, something people expected when it comes to MMO expansions. Well, I'm happy to report that ArenaNet is bucking this trend with Heart of Thorns. Instead, they're going with a horizontal progression system that they call Masteries. Masteries is a progression system geared towards giving max-level characters something to strive for. Spending mastery points will unlock new capabilities on your account, such as the ability to jump on mushrooms to reach places in the jungle that were previously unavailable to you, or grant you the ability to speak to the jungle's inhabitants and access new vendors with new items. Completing certain tasks will award you with mastery points that are used in combination with experience points to unlock your new powers. Having experience points remain meaningful even at max level means you'll always feel like you're being rewarded and making progress while doing events, world bosses, fractals, etc. And to top it all off, Masteries are an account-wide system, so you won't have to mindlessly earn all these abilities for each of the alts on your account. How? Get it?
Number 7.
The maps in Guild Wars 2's World vs. World battles have remained mostly unchanged since the game's launch 3 years ago. In the Heart of Thorns expansion, a new desert Borderlands map will be introduced, allowing players to wage war with increased verticality, thematic objectives, and more strategic layouts. At the center of this desert map is a giant jungle oasis. This environment caters to roamers, ambushers, and gankers. Every 3 hours a meta event begins here, starting a race against time as players power up a massive super weapon to use against their enemies. Each of the 3 keeps on the map are themed to a different element, earth, air, or fire, and come with their own unique dangers such as impassable rock walls and long flowing rivers of lava. Toasty. Worlds that can take a keep and hold the shrine surrounding it will gain immunity to its hazards and unleash a few new dangers for any encroaching enemy. And soon, leading a team in World vs. World will be even easier as the squad UI will be enhanced to show more information like each member's profession, health, state, and how much supply they have. While the squad UI is being delayed until shortly after HOT's launch, the rest of these changes is sure to bring more excitement than ever to WVW, and that's only the beginning, as ArenaNet is committed to making World vs. World improvements a priority after HOT releases.
Number 6.
Gliders.
Number 5.
In Heart of Thorns, every profession is getting access to a new elite specialization, giving them more options to customize their character's abilities. These specializations will transform the character into a new profession, which grants access to a new weapon type, a new set of traits, and brand new abilities. Want your necromancer to run around chopping things to bits with a giant greatsword? Great! Just enable the Justin Bieber. Just enable the Reaper elite specialization. Want to support your allies with heals as a ranger? Simply become a druid instead. Want to take out a longbow and shoot them in the back the Guardian way? Then transform into a dragon hunter and unleash your wings of the turkey.
Number 4.
Prior to the release of Heart of Thorns, the only way to get a legendary was to either be insanely lucky and get the precursor weapon as an extremely rare drop or a gamble in the Mystic Forge. Or you can grind out as much gold as possible in order to purchase one from the trading post. All of that changes with Heart of Thorns. As part of the mastery system, players will be able to unlock the ability to craft legendary precursors and go on a new epic journey to acquire these elusive legendary weapons. It will still take considerable time and resources to get your hands on these weapons, but those persistent enough to take on the challenge will be rewarded in the end. A set of 3 new legendary weapons will be available when the expansion releases, with more to be introduced regularly post-launch. All new legendary weapons and precursors will be account bound, and therefore you'll know that the person wielding one of these puppies earned it for themselves. There are a lot of people very excited about the new axe and pistol skins, but come on, that Nevermore staff has a raven perched on it. A raven! It's too good! Can I have it? What? How?
Number 3.
Heart of Thorns is introducing a new type of PvP game mode called Stronghold. In Stronghold, players will attempt to infiltrate the enemy's keep, break their gates, and killing the opposing lord before the other team does the same to you. The first Stronghold map is called the Battle of Champions Dusk, and players must choose between attacking the enemy's base, defending their own, or competing over supply resources which can be used to summon NPC allies which can help break down gates or kill other players. Teams will also compete to summon powerful mist champions which have unique powers and can turn the tide of the battle. There will be 3 different mist champions available at the launch of the expansion. Other incoming PvP features include season leagues, guild teams and a separate leaderboard for them, and a myriad of new PvP reward tracks with unique rewards only available through PvPing, including one of the 2 legendary back pieces that are being added into the game.
Number 2.
ArenaNet is adding a new profession or class to the game called the Revenant. The Revenant uses the powers of the mist to channel the powers of ancient legends from Guild Wars lore. Ventari, Shiro Tagachi, King Jalis, and even Malix the Unyielding all contribute to the abilities of this versatile and unique class. Unlike most professions, the Revenant doesn't get to choose their utility skills one by one. Instead, the Revenant's healing skill, utilities, and elite skill are all determined by which legend the Revenant is currently channeling. Swapping legends is as easy as touching a button. Combined with weapon swapping, this gives the Revenant access to over 20 abilities during combat, including 2 different elite skills. Add to the fact that Tyria's resident badass Ritlock has recently transformed into a Revenant, and it's easy to see why this heavy armor wearing profession is going to be a fan favorite.
Number 1.
A common complaint of many people who have played Guild Wars 2 is that there isn't any truly challenging PvE content. Well, that all changes with the Heart of Thorns expansion. Groups of 10 players will join forces to tackle instance raids in the Maguma jungle. Shortly after the expansion launches, the first wing of the first raid will open up and allow players to throw themselves at 4 angry raid bosses. A second wing will release early next year, with a third wing coming out later in 2016. Tackling these encounters will take a mix of strategy and execution, and will challenge Guild Wars 2 players in ways that they have yet to experience in the game. Remember, the loot that players get in these raids will not increase their power level, which means this content will not become obsolete or less challenging when the next raid is released. Instead, players will be incentivized to do this content to unlock cosmetic upgrades like unique skins, exclusive mini-pets, and rare materials to construct suits of legendary armor. Did you say legendary armor? I did. Sweet googly moogly! Well, that's going to wrap up this top 10 list, and I haven't even scratched the surface of what Heart of Thorns has to offer. There's things I haven't even mentioned, like fractal difficulty going up to level 100, and the new action camera options. But that's all we have time with today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button before you go. Subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when future videos are released. And if you still haven't purchased your Heart of Thorns expansion, there's a link in the description below. That is a referral link and directly supports this channel. I hope everybody has a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Someone remove this furball immediately!